They knew what was coming at them here. We had watched tape of these guys and knew that they were going to be a physical team that was going to really challenge us in a lot of ways. And I know Greg's got a relatively new team, but we have great respect for them, their players, and the job Greg does. And I think our guys came out with the appropriate approach and mindset tonight. We were a little loose in some areas that we can improve on, but you know, these guys to my right and my left, I mean, they're the ones that do it. They're the ones that set the tone. Our older guys are the ones that set the tone in terms of our practice, in terms of our approach. And I think they knew it needed to be a serious-minded approach coming off of last week.
Coach, defensively, you guys, you hold Gant and Smith to a combined 4 points. That probably won't be done all year. How'd you do it?
You know, I think it was a combination. I mean, I think our guys were ready for those two guys. They knew that they were, obviously, Lou Smith was leading returning scorer, really good player. And, you know, we have guys that can really match up with perimeter players and take it personal when they get scored on. And I love that competitiveness to them. Both these guys, I think, can really be elite defenders. But our team defense was really solid, you know, across the board for the most part. In particular on those two guys. But I agree with you. I think those two guys, they might have had a little bit of an off night too. I don't want to take any credit away from our guys, but they might have had a little bit of an off night as well. But I think our guys had something to do with that.
Did you realize this team was going to be this good defensively early on, or is it something that kind of comes and goes?
Yeah, good question. I think it's the makeup of our team, Tom. I think it's where we have strengths. It's where our strengths lie. Because we can struggle at times to score the ball. We didn't tonight, but we can. But our strengths is in our defensive approach. It has to be. I think for us to be good, and the best thing about it is I'm saying that, but these guys say that. Like, they say it. Like, they believe it. If we're going to be good, that has to be our bread and butter. So when they believe it, then you know you have something, and we have some pieces that can defend. And I think these guys, we look at their faces when we get scored on. They don't like it, and that's the way they look at
it. For Cameron and sometimes you play good defense and the other team still is able to score a little bit. But it looks like tonight you might have been absolutely frustrated. Did you feel like you got them off their game a little bit, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, I feel like we know the scout real well. We know all their strengths and weaknesses. So I think we played it together as a team, and we tried to make them struggle a lot. We made them miss a lot, and their best players didn't score as much. Like Coach said, they might have off night, but I think it had a lot to do with our defensive scheme that we had.
Yeah, touching off that, I think it's really just a game plan. I mean, we have a different game plan each night, but I mean, for each game that we go into, there are certain shots that we want them to take, or certain looks that we want to force them to take all night. So I don't know if we really go into a game thinking that we're gonna really like mess up their flow, but we're just gonna execute our game plan. And when we do that, most of the time we succeed.
Cameron, I think there were 3 plays you knocked down the inbounds pass too.
Yeah, well,
it's got to make you feel good and stuff. And is that a sign that things are going pretty darn well when you're able to do that?
well, yeah, just doing my job. That's what we talk about all the time, is people doing their job. So
best in the country at it on the ball. I've been saying there's not a better guy on the ball, baseline underneath, than him. He's elite at that. He's got great timing for it. I love him, man. At times, blocking shots. But he's the best in the country at it. I believe that, and that's why it's a real weapon for us on baseline underneath.
Some of the adjustments that Butler made, and players can answer this if you would. A good start by the Sycamores, and then was it the first time out where adjustments were made, or did you guys kind of do it as the game progressed in the first half?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
A good start for the Sycamores. How did you guys make some adjustments first time out, or just picking up stuff on individually?
Yeah, we all got on each other. Lots of people, a couple people putting their heads down. We try to come together as a team, try to follow the scheme and keep going there. We just got to keep doing what the coach telling us to do. And after we kept doing that, we kept pushing the lead out. So.
Cam, Gant and Kitchell are both big bodies, thick bodies, strong. You're not a thick body, but you're a long body. Obviously, you're an effective body. What do you need to do when you're in Big East play against bigger, stronger guys, and in a game like this against a pair of really thick, bruising guys? How are you? What do you need to do to be effective against bigger, stronger people like that?
I think it starts with positioning, being in the right spots. You can't let them throw it inside easy, whether I'm fronting or three-quartering or just working to get around. Also, knowing that I'm not by myself. We always have backside help, guys who are off the ball are always giving me support. And then when they do get it, just use your length, and that's what I try to do. I think kids are really good players, really physical. I think it was a good test for us because that's what we're going to see a lot of, as you said. And yeah, like I said, we just try to always be in the right spot, beat them to the spots. Can't let them catch it deep. And then, if they catch it off the block, I got help, and just use my God-given abilities in my lane and try to defend the best I can.
Did you talk to the younger players coming back from the Bahamas, being a senior, about, hey, every game we have to take seriously? Because it's only natural when you're playing in the Bahamas on ESPN against nationally ranked teams in Georgetown and the like, and then you come back and you're playing a Missouri Valley team that's not nationally ranked. It's only natural for a human to have some type of letdown. So did you address that in the locker room?
Absolutely, and I think along with that, I wasn't alone. I think all the older guys, whether it's Rose, Barlow, even returners, I think really with the seniors, we've been on really good teams, and then we've been on teams that haven't succeeded. So we know kind of how it goes. Like, we know that each game really does matter, whether it's carryover, what we're talking about in practice, or just how we want to play the game. Because if not, we could end up being bad, or if we do things like we're supposed to and we take every possession the way we're supposed to, then we can be really good. So, we definitely tell these young guys every day, and we hammer it home in practice, and the coaches are on us as well, because I think a lot of people on the team know what it takes to be good. So that's what we strive for every day, whether it's practice or games or walkthroughs, any type of preparation.
Hey, Chris, I know we're talking a lot about the defense now, so like Callum shot the ball tonight, it's 2 games in a row. It looks like if he was in a slump, he's out. Just talk about it.
Yeah, I thought he really he looked great. He looked great in the shoot around this morning, shooting the ball. He got some really clean looks. I think our guys did a good job screening for him. We have to continue to improve on that. And he knocked down the ones that he was open. He'll have nights where he might struggle a little bit. That's where he's going to have to get to the free throw line a little bit, Michael, and find other ways to impact the game. There are some times people are just going to literally load up on him and just not allow him to get open looks. We've seen that already this year. When that happens, we're going to have to do some things to free him up, and then he's going to, as he did against Georgetown, he's going to have to wait his turn until the right shot for our team opens up, and then he's going to have to seize it. And he did that against Georgetown. You have to use a little bit more patience. Been proud of the last couple games I think he's done.
Chris, when you get a team like Indiana State, you mentioned they're basically starting from fragile.
Sure.
Do you form a game plan to take advantage of that fragility on their part, or how much do you take that into account?
We really didn't mention it a whole lot, even though we know they have a lot of new pieces, and we just felt like, we did feel like if we could get a lead early, that would obviously be beneficial for us. It's younger teams have a harder time responding, obviously, to adversity. But we didn't talk a whole lot about it. We just kind of tried to focus on the game plan. And Terry Johnson puts a great defensive game plan together on staff here, and Mike does a great job with our offensive game plan. So those guys really had them prepared on both ends.
Anything else for coach or the players? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.